trim or cut this layer here and all the layers above. Since all these layers that we created are part of this segment, we're going to trim those as well. Okay, so just locate the playhead where the segment starts based on the background as a reference, and then I'm gonna take 0, hold shift and select everything and do option and then the key that I mentioned before, and then again option and then the key again. Okay, I might need to move that a little bit. Okay, let me zoom in this because I want to do it. You want to be like, you know, you want to take care of that, like just, you know, make sure everything is aligned. So I'm gonna save that, and now everything just can click away, and now that segment is ready. Okay,
gain genuine expertise and insights, but it is only when people see that you overcome a challenge that they want to solve, when they truly connect with you.
Okay, so that segment is about, the next segment is about when they truly connect with you. So it's just normal text. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go here to the very start of the segment and I'm gonna add some text. Okay, so here let me just go ahead and add some text. So it's gonna be something like when they, and then I say when they truly connect with you. So when they, let me make this bigger. Okay, when they, anchor point to the center, and then I'm just going to duplicate this for now and then say like when they truly, and then it's like truly, and that is going to be one word. I'm going to explain why later. Truly, and then duplicate that truly again, and then be like when they truly connect. Okay, take the truly, make it somewhere here, and then connect somewhere here. When they truly connect, and then this one is gonna be with you. When they truly connect with you. Okay, perfect. So when they truly connect with you, and that is the segment. All right, and that segment, let's see, well, it starts here. So when they, and then shift, option, the key, and let's see where that ends.
That you overcome a challenge that they want to solve.
Actually, it starts here, somewhere here, like when they truly connect with you. So here, this little space is just gonna be me with the captions. You don't need to edit everything. Okay, you can leave the video with some captions here and there. Okay, so
solve when they truly connect with you.
Okay, and then we want to zoom this in until we see the little frame right here to see where the thing ends.
Connect with you.
So it's somewhere here. Okay, it's right here. So I'm gonna option, actually just here, somewhere here. Okay, option, boom. So they're gonna be until here. All right, perfect. And here we start another segment, which is like fully screen. It says original. We have my profile picture and the XP going through a path. Okay, perfect. So for that, for now, I'm just gonna use the same background, blue background. And here's the thing, guys, like we don't want to use a lot of colors. I don't suggest using a lot of colors because then the edit will not keep the style. Okay, it will, like some people use a lot of colors, they don't really maintain like a style within the video, and so everything just looks different. What I mean by that is if we take a look at the icons we're using here, every icon, if we make this bigger, okay, so fit, every icon is like similar, even though they are not like the same, it's similar, like they are 3D icons, right? These things both are black. Okay, my profile picture is fine. I'm keeping like the style that I'm doing within the video, right? So ever since I start, I'm starting with one type of font, then another one, okay, then I'm using Justin Welsh, I'm using one type of line, one type of text box, the same font as the very beginning on the hook, and so on and so forth. Okay, that's what I mean by keeping the style. I'm keeping the style on this word right here, I'm keeping the style here, just using another, like a different background. And don't worry, like we're gonna work on those backgrounds later on, but you guys get the point, right? Everything keeps its own style. Now for this background, let me actually see where this segment ends.
There is a system to share your insights and expertise in an original and honest way.
Okay, in an original and honest way. So
I call it the online ecosystem.
Okay, perfect. So maybe I can do this.
Original and honest way. I call it the.
Okay, no, there's a weird cut right there. You want to take care of that, okay, as well. You want to be careful to end the background where like the other segment start, it has already started. Okay, so because if not, it's gonna look weird. For example, if I leave it here, look what happens. Boom, you can see the cut. So that's another common mistake I see. Just make sure to not do it. So if I do this here, okay,
there is a system.
Okay, there is a system. Let's see what we have. So my profile picture that we can just go ahead and duplicate. So duplicate, bring it here, move this here, move it here. See how I am like just recycling some things. That's how we want to do it, guys. Okay, recycling some things that we have previously used during the animation. Okay, then so we have that. We also have a path. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to duplicate the XP icon. So I'm gonna duplicate that one. Maybe here, right? So maybe here. Let me see that. Just make sure that OBS is up and running. Okay, perfect. And then go ahead and do this here. All right, so the XP is the one that is gonna go through the path. Now we need a path. Okay, so I'm not selecting anything. I select the pen tool, I create the first point, then I create a this could be like the second one, could be here. All right, okay, and then the third one, honestly, like the third one could be here, to be honest with you guys. And then I can move this one a little bit more, and then this one like that. All right, perfect. So I click away, and that is gonna have a less stroke, and I want this line to be also, so I'm gonna call it path here. I'm gonna change the name to path, and I'm going to make it content just dashed stroke. Okay, so dashes, I'm gonna add one, and then increase the number here a little bit more by 20 maybe. Okay, I like that one. So by 20, and I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. What else do we need? We need the numbers and the word original. So for the word original, I'm going to recycle which one? Generate content. So drag, drop it to the top, go back here, drag, put it on the segment, align it with the segment somewhere here, and then this one I'm gonna take, like do it again, just right away, and I'm gonna take this one, command, generate content, option, hold option, and there you go. Generate content, I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna just write original, and then that original text is gonna be white. And then we just need the numbers. So look how easy this can be. So for the numbers, we need a ball with a number. So I'm gonna just select the ellipse tool. I'm not selecting anything here, remember, because if we select something here, we're gonna create a mask and we don't wanna do that. So I'm gonna create a circle, holding shift, and it's gonna be something like this. I can change the size later on if I want to. And then by selecting the ball, I can center our anchor point and then change the name to number circle. Okay, perfect. I want some fill for this circle, okay, which is going to be, at least for now, it's going to be white. And then I'm going to create some text here, and then just the number 1. That number 1 is going to be black. Oh, I just want to make this bigger. Holding shift, center our anchor point, change that to owners, or Europa. I think Europa grotesque is a good one for numbers, so I'm gonna use that one. I think it's included on the premium pack. On the premium pack, I think Europa grotesque, this font. Okay, so now that's done, I want to select both of them and Command D, okay, 2 times, because we need okay, but before I do that, let me just undo. I'm gonna just parent this number 1 to the number, okay, to the circle. So now I can go ahead and duplicate. I can take circle 2, put it here, all right, and where is the number? Oh, I didn't duplicate it, so let me undo that again. Select both, Command D, okay, now we're talking. So I can take this one and I can take the third one, put it somewhere here, and then take this number. I'm gonna type 2. I'm gonna take this number, type 3. There you go. Okay, so I think we have all the elements: my picture, number 1, 2, 3, the path, and the XP, and the text original. There you go. Okay, perfect. We have it. Awesome. We also need a 3D camera, but we're gonna create that because we're gonna have a camera zooms out. We need a 3D camera for that, but we're gonna create it by the time we're gonna start animating. So if we take a look at this, these elements here, if I hold shift, we need to cut them, okay, or just trim them. So the way we do that again is by holding Option and then the key that I previously mentioned. Again, if you don't remember what that key is where is it? So Option and then this one or this one, okay, at least on MacBook. I think on Windows is pretty similar. We're gonna save, and guys, we're almost done here. We just need a Loom video, okay, and then the online ecosystem letters, and then the comment, like the call to action. Okay, perfect. So we need the online ecosystem letters, so I'm just gonna create a text somewhere here and just gonna put the online and then enter ecosystem just for now. Okay, again, later on we're gonna be editing all of this. The online ecosystem white for now, and then I need a Loom video here. I need a Loom video, but I think I need to go on Premiere Pro and change the format of that video, because if I try to import it, this is the Loom video, okay? So if I try to open, yeah, sometimes it doesn't support, I don't know, sometimes it doesn't support a type of video, like, I think it's MP4, I don't know. So I will need to go to Premiere Pro and drag and drop the Loom video there. Don't worry, I'm gonna upload it to Google Drive for you guys, because I want to show that Loom video right here, just like we're doing here on the scene. And let me see where that ends. So Option here,
I call it the online ecosystem, and I just recorded a video explaining how it works.
okay, so until here,
If you want the video, just comment the word system and I will.
Okay, so then we just have a normal comment. We're gonna make, oh, that's why we need to hold shift. Okay, let me just undo this, create it again, because comment. Let me center the anchor point before even trying to scale that thing, because if not, it can get, if that gets messy, we can just go ahead and do it here. Scale, hold shift to make it like faster. Okay, so comment, maybe not as big, and then we're just gonna duplicate that and put blueprint. Okay, awesome, we finished here. Oof, that was a little bit, it took a little bit of time, I'm not gonna lie, it took a little bit of time, but guys, okay, I also need to go ahead and select those two and just option. All right, perfect. So awesome. Well, we're done here, at least with preparing all the things that we're gonna be animating. Okay, so we created the backgrounds, the color for the backgrounds, all these elements right here, as you can see. That's the whole idea of the brainstorming and then creating the assets, because now we are gonna be able to just go and everything is like ready. Now we can just go ahead and edit everything. So we now can go into the frame of keyframes, presets, and everything. And this is what I'm talking about when I say productivity blocks. What we just did is a productivity block. You do it all at once. You prepare, you drag and drop text, you don't apply any effects, any keyframes, nothing. You're just building everything. You're just building. And once that's done, we can now just go ahead and start editing everything, applying 3D cameras, keyframes. You're gonna see how fun it is once you have everything. It's like much more enjoyable than it is to go in and creating a segment and then editing the segment and then just, you know, going through the video and be like, oh, I don't have anything here, like, and brainstorming what you're gonna do. So it's just better to work in productivity blocks. Okay, so with that being said, this is the end of module 2, and now we're gonna transition into module 3, where we actually start learning the good stuff, the animations, the keyframes, the 3D cameras. I'm actually really excited for that. So yeah, I will see you in the next module. Okay guys, so just an important note here, before we actually go ahead and learn about animation and high quality video editing and all the good stuff, I wanted to show you guys why is the skill that you are about to learn important. Okay, why is it important? I want to show you the big picture. Okay, so once you understand the big picture, you will be 10 times more like motivated to actually learn and implement the stuff that I'm just teaching here in this tutorial. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about it. And in order to talk about that, I want to talk about the online ecosystem. Okay, this is just a concept that I came up with for my brand, and it's a very efficient system. It's the system that allowed me to start getting results after trying different business models and stuff for over 3-4 years. You know, it was messy, I failed a lot, but then I understood what successful creators were doing, and I just doubled down on that and got my first results as well. So I want to explain what successful online creators are doing, guys like coaches, freelancers, business owners. Okay, so to understand the big picture, I created this little drawing, and bear with me. Okay, you will be able to understand why I'm sharing this on a video editing tutorial in the first place. Okay, so these successful creators, they have values, challenges, they have a strong why, interest, they have their unique situation, knowledge, skills, game plans, vision, goals. They have everything. All of this is in place, right? They understand and they are clear on what these things are. Okay, so that allows successful creators to build a foundation. Once a foundation is established, they can go ahead and start implementing on their life. Okay, they can start learning, practicing, creating. They learn, they are good in something, they keep learning that in order to be better. They practice more, they create more, and that builds the third stage, which is the online ecosystem. So all those creators, okay, who are successful or are getting results in their life, in this case, they have a personal hub as well. Okay, I have noticed every creator has a personal hub, every successful creator, that is. So with a personal hub, it's just a place to hold all the information that one person is learning. So the knowledge, the notes, the resources they create, the frameworks, the systems, the content, everything, all the information turns into the online ecosystem. Okay, so all that information can be turned into short form content on X, short form content, long form content on Instagram, long form content on YouTube. You've seen these videos, people building their brands on YouTube as well. Most successful creators have an email list. Most successful creators understand that an email list is important. Okay, now all this content, all these things, short form content, long form content, resources, this builds authority and allows the creators to sell courses, coaching, subscriptions, mentorships, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now we are learning like how to create like high quality reels on Instagram, right, with this tutorial. So that is just a tiny part of what the online ecosystem is, right? The online ecosystem is all of this. Okay, the values, the why, the foundation, a person who is implementing, a creator who is implementing stuff and creating stuff, saving their information, writing about that, and then creating content around their knowledge as well. Okay, so if you're learning how to edit high quality reels and even high quality like YouTube videos, then you can help a creator who has all these things in place, a creator who is already winning. You can go ahead and save them time, so by you actually creating high quality edits for them that builds authority for their brand and therefore allows them to sell more of the stuff that they are creating, right? This is the whole point. You want to help creators who have these things in place, because here is the thing, okay? If like, and this doesn't only count for coaches or stuff like that you want to edit videos for, or business owners, like this counts for everyone. Now let me tell you what not successful creators are doing. Okay, let me tell you why most creators who are not getting results are doing. Okay, so I'm talking about coaches, freelancer, business owners who struggle to monetize their product, their service, their skills online. Okay, so they also, like unsuccessful creators, they also have values, challenges, why, but these things are not in place. These things are not clear. They don't have a clear vision. They don't have clear goals, a clear game plan. They might have skills, they might have knowledge, they do have a unique situation and interest, but it's not clear. So therefore, once this is not clear, the foundation is going to be weak. There's going to be a weak foundation, okay? And then implementation is going to be also weak. Maybe you are a person who is learning a skill, but you are also learning a bunch of other stuff and everything is scattered, and you might practice here and there, but you might be not even creating anything. You're just learning and practicing. So when that happens, the person doesn't have a good implementation of the stuff they are learning and everything they are doing in their life. Okay, like there's no real intention behind it. So therefore, an online ecosystem cannot really be built. Some people don't even have a personal hub where they can host all the information of the things they are learning and the podcasts they are watching and the content they are consuming, and they don't have a personal hub, or maybe they do take notes, but the notes are all over the place, right? So the reason why I'm saying this is because there are a lot of creators who don't have these things in place, and yet they expect this content or the email list or the ads on Facebook or Instagram, or they expect their quick tactics and strategies on marketing and selling and copywriting to sell their things and their stuff, but they don't realize that they need to work first on a strong foundation to have a good implementation, to be able to be organized on their personal app, and therefore create stuff that is helpful for people. Okay, and the reason why I'm taking time to explain this within this long tutorial is because if you don't understand this big picture, it doesn't matter if you continue learning. Okay, because you as you most likely you are going to be a freelancer if you are learning this, or at least you're a coach or a business owner who is trying to learn how to edit high quality videos so you can edit for yourself and actually increase the authority on your Instagram and YouTube. Okay, because you want to edit for yourself. All right, that is totally fine, but it is crucial to understand the big picture. You gotta have these things in place. You gotta have a clear vision, goals, and game plan in order to implement the right way, save your stuff, and then convert that into content and also courses, coaching, subscriptions, mentorship. This whole thing is the online ecosystem. Okay, that's why I put it here, the online ecosystem. We can see the big picture right here. Okay, if I scroll here, all right, you can see the whole big picture. And now for you watching this, that's why I encourage you at the very beginning of the video to do a challenge. Watch the whole tutorial. Practice 1-2 hours for 30 days straight. Document the whole process on X, because if you do that, guys, as you're learning this, as you're testing stuff, build your name online, start building your online ecosystem. Like, go ahead and build a game plan, build a vision, set a goal for 2025 or the years to come whenever you're watching this, to be able to build a foundation and be able to implement with intention, create your own stuff. I hope you can practice for 30, 60, 90 days. And then once you have good knowledge, you can go ahead and create a tutorial just like the one I'm doing right now. This is what I'm doing right now because I understand that building the online ecosystem is the most important thing you can do as a freelancer, as a coach, as a business owner, as someone who is trying to build their name online in order to make a living out of it. Okay, so with this, I encourage you guys to continue learning, to continue implementing, but doing in this frame of mind where you are working in something bigger than yourself. Okay, not just quick money, not just a side hustle, not just another business model. This is not another business model. This is your life project being executed in order to have a better life. Okay, so before we move on to the next module, and because I'm pretty excited to continue recording it, if you want more support on how to start building your online ecosystem, feel free to check my upcoming content on YouTube. I'm gonna keep creating content on my YouTube. Check my newsletter as well, because I love writing. I'm really passionate about writing and explaining things. So you can check my newsletter. You can also check the online ecosystem course, which is coming soon. Right now, by the time I'm recording this, it's not ready yet. I haven't even started it, but I'm for sure going to build a course about the online ecosystem, explaining everything. And then something that I do have as of now is an offer, which is my one-on-one mentorship. Okay, you can find the book call in the description, but keep in mind, I don't take everyone. Okay, spots are limited because I rather work with few individuals who are action takers than just taking everyone, right? I am very, very careful with whom I take into my mentorship, because I want to guarantee results for the person who actually can afford my mentorship and is willing to put in the effort to create a better life for themselves. Okay, if you can't invest on a one-on-one mentorship, don't worry. That's why I'm doing my content on YouTube. That's why I'm doing my content on my newsletter. Okay, and that's why I'm gonna also do the course. The one-on-one is just for me to go extra personalized into helping someone. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you can't get results unless you buy my one-on-one. Okay, that's not totally what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you adapt to what you have. Okay, so if you can afford a one-on-one, that's amazing. It's going to speed up your momentum and results and process. But if you don't, that's totally fine. You have the free content. So with that being said, guys, I'll leave it here. You now understand the big picture of why we're going to learn this skill, of why we're doing things in the first place. And I will continue the recording here, and we'll see you in the next module. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this tutorial. You are an action taker. You want to improve your life, and I'm really happy for that. So let's continue. Okay guys, welcome to module 3. I'm pretty excited for this one because here is where we started learning the good stuff, okay? The animations, the effects, and you guys are gonna see how cool everything is gonna look after this module, okay? So with that being said, before we continue by editing the hook, which is the first and most important part of the video, okay? Before we do that, I just wanna show you a quick tip here, okay? Because using After Effects and using Premiere Pro, these two are like heavy software and they sometimes take a lot of storage from your computer. So every now and then what you want to do is you want to go here to where it says After Effects, you want to go to settings, and you want to go to media and disk cache, okay? I don't know if you pronounce it that way, but anyways, you want to go there and you want to empty the disk cache, okay? So it says, are you sure you want to delete all files? It's around 45 gigabytes from your disk cache. Of course I want to do it, so you want to click OK. Don't worry, you're not deleting anything from any project. This is just, you know, like little information that these softwares use to, you know, be able to run. Basically, I don't know too much about this stuff, but I just know that you just need to empty that so your computer doesn't run out of space, okay? So if After Effects at any point tells you, hey, you're running out of space, just go there and empty the disk cache. So click OK. Perfect. So we're done with that, and now we can go into the project that we've been working on. Remember how we prepared all the things, the text, all the layers, all the segments with, you know, all the little text, boxes, lines, backgrounds. Okay, perfect. So now it's time to actually go ahead and animate that and add some effects so it actually looks good. So the first thing that I want to do, guys, okay, before I start editing the hook, is I want to, like, I don't want to see all these layers, okay? Because like the ones that I'm going to be editing right now is the basic content text, the highlight, and then the text that says is dying. That's it, okay? I don't need to see all these other layers here. For me, it's kind of like overwhelming. So look what I'm going to do. I'm going to select red background, which is the next element of the next segment. I'm going to go all the way up, hold shift, and click on where it says blueprint. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click this little thing here, and that little thing is called shy, okay? Basically, we're going to hide the layers, and we're going to hide all the layers here by clicking here. This is now activated, and that's why we only see the layers that we want to be working on. Okay, so what I want to start working on is the actual video, okay? So I want to make like, if I hold shift, I want to make a zoom out, okay? Like a zoom out effect. But as you can see, and if you remember, we have two clips, okay? We have the original clip and the rotoscope version of the clip. For now, we're just gonna deactivate the rotoscope version of the clip, okay? And we're gonna be now just working on this little original clip. So I'm gonna undo that, undo, hide the rotoscope version again, and we're gonna start working on that zoom out effect for the intro of the reel. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go here to the transform properties. All right, and once I'm on the transform properties, what I want to do is I want to create a keyframe on position and scale. Okay, we're going to be playing with position and scale, but before I do that, I want to go here and I want to click Command R, and then I want to drag and drop this little line here to the eyes. Basically, there is a rule on video editing where if you're gonna do zoom ins and zoom outs, you need to keep the eyes on the same positions every time. All right, so we drag and drop the line right there. For now, I'm just gonna hide all the other layers. Okay, so we just see the actual video, and I'm going to create a keyframe on a scale because we're gonna zoom it in or zoom it out, and then position. Now I'm gonna take since this is like the, let me feed that again. Since this is the position where I want the video to end, because it's at zoom out, I want to take both keyframes and I want to move them around 1.5 seconds, something like that. Okay, I can see the seconds here, so around 1 second and something. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just click away, okay, and with the playhead on the very beginning, I want to scale that to, I don't know, 185, something like that, maybe 190. It's a lot, I know, but if you take a look at the eyes, it's like it's not on the line, right? So if I just leave it like that, the zoom out will look a little bit weird. Okay, some people do this. I think this is a common mistake that I see on video edits. So what we want to do instead is we want to take those eyes, so here on position, on the Y property, we want to take it down by just scrolling to the, or going to the right, and with the mouse, and there you go. Okay, you want to hold, you know what, you want to click there and hold in order to be able to either move to the right or to the left, and you want to align the eyes right there. And awesome. Now if we take a look at the zoom out, the eyes are always in the same position. Boom. Okay, so it's 10 times better. Perfect. Now if we click that,
Basic content is dying, but let me actually...
It doesn't look smooth, right? It looks like very straight. We need to add some smoothness to this movement, okay, to the zoom out. The way we do it is by selecting all the keyframes, and we are gonna ease the keyframes. We do that at least on MacBook with F9, okay? I think Windows is the same, so I'm just gonna click F9 here, and there you go. Okay, so F9, and now they are eased in. So if I click,
Basic content is dying, but let me...
Okay, it's a little bit better, right? But this could be even 10 times better. Now the way I make it better is by selecting all the keyframes, going to graph editor, and remember that we need to be on edit speed graph. Okay, I'm going to select everything, grab this point to the middle, and grab this other point to the end. So we do that, you know, curved line right there. I'm going to deactivate the graph editor to be able to go again to the timeline. And now look how smooth it looks, guys. Boom.
Basic content is dying.
Okay, amazing. So I like that movement. Let me see it again.
Basic content is dying, but...
Okay, awesome. So I can even make it a little bit longer, and if I wanted to, I can take these two keyframes and I can move them here. But be careful when you do that, just to make it the right way, because if not, like once I put them there, I cannot like go back and grab them again. Okay, so just make sure you do it the right way.
Basic content is dying.
Okay, but I don't want to do it that way, so I'm gonna take them back. Okay,
Basic content is dying, but let me actually...
Okay, I think it looks pretty good. We have the line on the eyes, we have the zoom out, and now guys, once that's done, we can take this out and Command R just to make it disappear. And if we want to use the same zoom out effect on the future reels that you're going to be editing, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and select position, Command select the scale, so those two properties, as you can see, and you want to go to animation. You want to save the animation preset, and on user presets on the tutorial, which is the folder that we previously created when I was explaining like presets and stuff like that, we created that one. So now we can call this, just remember to give it a name that makes sense, okay? Because the more you create presets, the more you're gonna be able to, like, if you name them the right way, you're not gonna forget what the thing does, right? So intro, zoom out, that's how we're gonna call it, and then I can save it there, and perfect. So look now, if I go ahead and delete those keyframes and I look for intro, zoom out, as you can see, I have previously created intro, zoom out, and zoom in, okay, for the presets that I included on the premium editing assets. All right, but now you guys also know how to how to use or how to create a preset as well. So intro, zoom out, I'm gonna put it here, and take a look at where the playhead is. The playhead is right here. So if I drag and drop that effect right there, it's gonna start from there, from the playhead. Okay, so I'm gonna undo that, take the playhead to the very beginning, and then take the intro, zoom out to this video right here. Okay,
Basic content is dying, but let me actually...
Okay, awesome. Now, another thing, remember that we also have, okay, remember that we have the rotoscope version. So as you can see, the rotoscope version is not making the zoom out, okay? So I need to take the playhead, and whenever I add a zoom in or zoom out to the original video, I also need to add that one to the rotoscope version, okay? Just keep that in mind. So it's gonna be the same with the same length. If you want to modify the length, just click on the video, click U, and then you can move both together so they are the same, okay? Just make sure to do that if you are using a rotoscope version of the video. I'm going to hide it, I'm going to deactivate it, and now we can move on to the next element, which is the text that says basic content. Okay, so for now it's pretty basic, you know, this text, but it's the text for the hook, so we want to make it look good. Remember guys, we are editing the hook, and now I'm just including text. Sometimes, since the hook is the most important part, the first part that someone is gonna watch as they are scrolling, okay, you want to take some time to make it look good. Okay, you want to take some time to make it look good. You can even include a little animation here. I would suggest doing a little animation, but for now we're just gonna do text. Okay, so this tutorial actually goes from easy to harder. That's why I'm doing like text here. Let me just drink some water real quick. I don't know, sometimes as I speak, my throat is like, I don't know. But anyways, let's continue here. Okay, so we did the zoom out, and now we're gonna work on the text. Before we work on the text though, I want to show you something. If we go to Pablo template, I'm gonna just go here to the very beginning. As you can see guys, I am using a shadow here. Okay, you see this little shadow? We want to do that. Okay, I want to show you like how to do that shadow. So let's go here, and in order to do the shadow, I'm going to right click, I'm going to click on new, and I'm going to create an adjustment layer. That adjustment layer right now is doing nothing. Okay, remember that the adjustment layer affects all the things that are below it. Okay, so for example, if I go and search for Gaussian blur, so if I add some blur to the adjustment layer, it's going to affect everything that is below it. So the text and the, pretty much everything. Okay. So if you wanted to, I could even start this video with some blur. Okay. So I could say blur. Okay. I can call this blur, and then I can create a keyframe here. All right, click U just to see the keyframe on the blurriness. All right, and then I can move it just a little bit and bring that back to 0. I'm gonna hold shift to make this faster here to 0, and then I can with F9 ease those keyframe, and you can see
basic content is
the little effect with the blur. Okay, but for now we are not gonna do blur. Okay, we're just gonna create a shadow. I just wanted to show you that, so you keep that in mind. So I'm gonna change the name to shadow. I'm gonna go to effects, I'm gonna delete that effect. Okay, and look what I'm gonna do now. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take the shadow, and I'm going with the layer selected, I'm going to create an ellipse tool. which is gonna be like this figure right here. Let me deactivate the basic content, and I'm going to activate or just do like this little thing right here, like just a normal figure or shape like this. And now what I'm going to do, as you can see, we created a mask, right? Now for that mask, I'm going to search for the fill effect. So this one right here, fill, I'm gonna drag, I'm gonna drop it to the shadow, and it's gonna create a color here within the layer. Okay, remember, the reason why I created the mask is so, because if I delete the mask, I'm just gonna delete it, don't worry, the fill color is gonna apply to everything. Okay, now if we deactivate this fill color, the adjustment layer is not doing anything, so I'm gonna activate it. Okay, so I'm gonna rather undo everything, so undo, and we have the mask again. Okay, now I want to change the color for the mask, and look what I'm gonna do now. I'm going to go to here to masks, under shadow, and I'm going to invert. All right, and now what we can do is we can go on mask, and we can go on feather, and we can increase the feather of the mask. All right, however you want it. Okay, you can also edit things like mask opacity, so the shadow is not as harsh, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. And you can also do like a mask expansion. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it as it is at 0. And for now, maybe I can increase the feather a little bit. Not too much, maybe like that. What I'm gonna increase is the expansion. Okay, so we don't take away the color, the original color, or we don't hide or make darker the color of the speaker. Now see how we're creating the shadow here. It's starting to get some, you know, some good look in here, but I don't want this shadow here. I just want it at the bottom, okay, of the layer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just simply grab that, move it away, move it here. Okay, so it's only affecting like this side. Move it here, so it's kind of like on the same size. Going to scroll a little bit and take this somewhere here, and take this somewhere here as well. Okay, take this one somewhere here. All right, cool. So now if I fit this in, save it, we have the shadow, but the shadow is only here at the bottom. Okay, so I can even bring it a little bit more here or there. Okay, and there you go. Okay, maybe I can decrease the feather or increase it a little bit more, and the expansion isn't as much expansion. Okay, I like it like that. Perfect. I'm gonna save it, and now we have the shadow. Look how cool it looks. Let me fit this in again, and we have a cool shadow. If we actually deactivate it, it gives like a good style to the video, as you guys can see. Not only that, but look what we're gonna do with the basic content text. We're going to activate it. Okay, and now for this text, what I want to do is I want this text to basically, let me lock the shadow. So I'm gonna lock it here, and I'm gonna grab the text. And what I want to do with the text is I want it to scroll up like this. Okay, boom, scroll up. And so in order to do that, I'm gonna put this text in the center of the screen. Perfect. So right there. And then we're gonna do the same as we did with the keyframes on the original video, right? So we're gonna play around with the keyframes. So the first, I want to take the playhead to the very beginning, and I want this thing to end right there on that position. So I'm gonna create a keyframe for position, only for position though. Okay, we don't need the scale on this one because I'm gonna show you how we're gonna scale it. And I'm going to move that to, again, 1 second, maybe like 1 second, and then I'm going to take it down here, somewhere here. Okay, awesome. Now what that's gonna do is gonna, you know, just go up, right? But I need to ease those keyframes, so F9, and then on the graph editor I can go ahead and play around with this as well. So if we take a look at that,
basic content is dying, but
okay, I like how it looks. In terms of the shadow, okay, it's locked. I'm gonna unlock it. I'm gonna go back to mask because I would like this text to like appear a little bit less right there, so something like that. Maybe take this point, move it somewhere here, okay, and then the expansion wouldn't be as much, maybe right there, a little bit of feather. So I can hide this, and now, okay, the text is gonna come right there. So basic content, as you can see, it's going to appear really good on the scene. Okay, awesome. Now that's another preset that you can do. Okay, that's another preset that we can do. In fact, I'm going to delete it, and well, before deleting it, obviously go on animation and save it, but I'm gonna delete it because I also created one that is called slide up. So slide up, apparently I have a lot. Okay, so user presets, text presets, and slow slide up. Okay, but if I'm not mistaken, I have a sliding up. Okay, so I have both, but these are a little bit different. I'm gonna show you like how to do these ones, because these are a little bit different. The one that I want to drag and drop is sliding up, just to show you guys. Remember, the playhead needs to be at the very beginning. So sliding up, basic content. Why did I change the
basic content is the
okay, so apparently when I was scrolling, I changed the to italic, so it's just X black. Okay, perfect. So just be careful whenever you're scrolling here, because After Effects is a little bit tricky. If you're scrolling, you might change something that you didn't want to change. So on that preset that I have saved previously,
basic content is dying, but
look where the keyframe is ending. It's ending right here. So I'm gonna just move the playhead to the keyframe and modify it. Okay, so holding shift, I can put it somewhere here. Okay, and I also want to make this bigger, just a little bit bigger. There you go. Basic content. Okay, so we have the animation is pretty cool, but now something that I want to do, okay, as we can see the graph editor, I want to take this keyframe and move it there. Okay, so it's gonna disappear, and I'm gonna take this one and move it here. And now basic content is it's gonna appear right there,
dying.
but if I move it too much, then I can just undo it and make it a little bit here. All right, perfect. So let me play that.
Basic content is dying, but
okay, maybe a little bit more.
Basic content is dying.
Okay, I know I'm taking too much, but I'm very picky to where I position the keyframes, because timing is the most important thing whenever you're editing a video. So obviously you don't want to take too long into like editing all the things, but again, this is the hook, so it's important that we do it the right way. Now another thing that I want to do with the basic content is I want to scale it with the video, with the original video. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is that we are doing a zoom out for the video, but we can make like the text as if it was stick to the video. Now, let me actually do it, because I know English is not my first language. So let me actually explain it by doing it. here on this keyframe, I'm gonna take the text that says basic content and I'm going to parent the text to the video, okay? After I do that, look what happens. It's going to scale, because it's parented, it's going to scale at the same size of the video, okay? So it's gonna scale down. So it looks 10 times better, as you can see. Boom. All right, so if we play the video.
Basic content is dying, but let me actually...
Oh, it looks so good. Awesome. So with keyframes, we parented to this thing. So when we parent something to another thing, if this thing is doing like a scale, you know, because we're doing a zoom out, then the text is going to scale as well, okay, in the same framing. And that's how we do that, like little just that little effect right there. Okay guys, so now I want to continue with the other one, so I'm just gonna hide this and I'm going to activate the text that says is dying, okay? And since we want to work on that one, I want to see where that one starts, okay?
Basic content.
Okay, so somewhere here it's gonna say is dying. All right, so what I'm gonna do, and I actually was looking for it here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for the typewriter effect. So the typewriter effect is an effect from After Effects, and that's the one we want to do for the text that says is dying, okay? I just want to show you guys a little bit how we can play around with different effects on text. So we already play around with one that is sliding up, and now I want to take the typewriter one and I want to apply it to the text that says is dying. All right, now what that does is that if we scroll here, it shows like a typewriter effect, right? So I'm gonna click U just to bring the keyframes on that, but actually I'm just gonna hide everything and I'm gonna go to the text. And as you can see guys, within the text, so for you it's gonna be like this on text, it added an animator one, okay? Basically that's the animation that we're doing, the typewriter effect. So we're gonna open that one, and it created some keyframes, okay, for the start property here, but we want to create some for the offset, you know, for the offset property as well. So I'm gonna go to advanced, and instead of a square here on the shape, okay, I know this seems like complicated, but you know, just follow along. On the shape, we want to change that to ramp up, okay? And then what we want to do is we want to scroll a little bit here, and on the same position as this keyframe, I'm going to create a keyframe for offset, okay? Basically what that's going to do is going to make the typewriter effect a lot more smoother, okay? A lot more smoother, because let me actually undo everything again. Let me change this back to a square because I forgot to show you guys. Look how harsh this is, okay? Let me bring this keyframe a little bit here.
Is dying, but let me actually...
It's good, but it's a little bit harsh, okay? So we can change that, okay? If we wanted to, we can change it two ways. You can increase the smoothness here to like 100 or 80 or 70, maybe 100 is good, okay? And then we can bring the keyframe a little bit more here, so look at that.
Content is dying, but let me actually...
Okay, so it's smooth, but not as smooth as I want. So I'm going to change this to ramped up. The smoothness property is gonna disappear, but I can go to offset, and let me bring back the playhead. I'm going to create a keyframe where it says offset, and I'm going to drag it where it says -100, and then I'm going to grab the playhead, do it just a little bit here, and then grab that one and make it 100. And now
content is dying, but let me actually...
Okay, it's a lot more like a lot smoother, okay, at least on my eyes. I don't know on your guys, but just let me center the anchor point really quick to that text, go back here, and let me play it again.
Content is dying, but
okay, maybe I can take those and even make it a little bit here.
Basic content is dying, but let me.
Okay, it's really precise to my words. So every element, every words, guys, you want to match it in the best way with the speaker. Okay, everything needs to match so it looks 10 times better. So I'm gonna hide this. Okay, so it says we now have a basic content is dying, and we now only need to let me activate the highlight. We just need to animate the highlight. Okay, so the highlight, look how we're gonna animate it. So I'm gonna bring on the text is dying, I'm gonna click U to bring the keyframes again, and for the highlight it's gonna be the same. So in order to animate that line, first I want to edit that one a little bit more, because it's kind of like I want it to be more I don't know, how can we, let me see, because I want to rotate it a little bit. Maybe we're gonna rotate it here, rotation. Okay, maybe something like this, maybe less. All right, perfect, something like that. Maybe make it a bit like this, and then I also want to make it here. So when it says is dying, is gonna do that for the text is dying. And I also want to take it, okay, I'm gonna grab it, holding shift, make it just a little bit below, so it's an actual highlight to the word, and see how we're gonna animate it. So on the same keyframe as the text is dying, I'm going to open this thing here, and I'm going to add trim paths. So on trim path, I'm gonna go there, okay, and I'm going to make a start or a keyframe on where it says end. So I'm gonna make a keyframe there. I'm gonna grab that to 0, okay, grab that to 0, and then I'm going to increase this thing here, somewhere here, and I'm going to increase that to 100. Perfect, so we got it right there. And now I can also ease this thing with F9, and let me see how that looks.
Content is dying, but let me actually.
Okay, so in that sense, I want it to be like faster at the beginning and then slow. So I'm gonna leave it right there.
The content is dying, but let me actually.
Oof, maybe not that fast. So we can take this one here.
The content is dying, but let me actually tell you.
Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. And on the shape, on the stroke, we can even do that like a round cap. What is this? Okay, let's just leave it at this one. Okay, so butt cap. All right, perfect. So I can just hide that one. I can hide the highlight, and guys, the hook is pretty much ready. All right, I know I took like longer than usual. I know, but it is what it is. Okay, so
basic content is dying, but let me actually tell you why that is good news.
Oh, we're missing one thing. Okay, we're missing the effects for the text and the highlight and everything here. Okay, so bear with me now. Basic content and it's dying and the highlight is a little bit separated. I want it to be more like, you know, just more a little bit here, holding shift. Okay, perfect. So
basic content is dying, but let me actually tell you why that is.
And I want these things like the text is dying to also be parented, like the highlight. I'm gonna click the highlight. I'm gonna parent the highlight to the text is dying, and then I'm gonna parent is dying to the original video. So we also have that little effect right there, as you can see on the zoom out. Okay, so everything is parented.
Basic content is dying, but let me actually tell you.
Okay, awesome. And now take a look what we're gonna do with the effects for the basic content. Okay, for the basic content, the first effect that I want to show you guys, if I scroll up here or scroll down, go to effects, and then I'm going to look for the one that says drop shadow. Okay, so drop shadow is this one right here. And what I can do, I'm gonna just put it into the basic content. I'm going to scroll here so we can see it. Look what we're gonna do, okay, with that one. So on basic content, we can have a shadow. So if I increase the softness of the shadow and the opacity of the shadow, it's gonna, maybe you cannot see it like a lot, but we can see that we are creating like a little shadow for the text, right? Now, what I want to do is I want to create like a glow for the text. So I'm going to make that white. You can leave it on black if you wanted to, but I just want to show you how to do the glow effect on text. So you can keep it like here, or you can just increase the softness. Now, if it is too much, you can decrease the opacity so it looks good. Okay, awesome. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, around 40. Okay, and then this, and there you go. If we deactivate it, I think it looks pretty good. So maybe less than that, and maybe less here. Okay, so maybe a little bit less, somewhere around 40. Awesome. And now look what I can do. I can just select that one, go to animation and save the animation preset. And now I can also save this preset as basic glow shadow. Okay, basic glow shadow on the tutorial folder, save. And now we have another effect that we can drag and drop. So for example, basic, and I have created once before. Okay, basic drop shadow, basic turbulent displays. The one that we just created is basic glow shadow. Remember, I have created these on the presets included in the premium assets. Okay, so don't get confused there. For you, it's just gonna be just this one is gonna appear. So I'm gonna drag and drop it into the is dying text. So I also apply it to that one, and there you go. Now another effect that I want to show you is the turbulent displays. Okay, again, I have created one that says basic turbulent displays. I'm gonna show you how to do it. So I'm gonna drag and drop it to basic content and see what happens. Okay, it basically disturbs or distorts the text. Now I'm going to decrease the size or the amount to, I don't know, somewhere around 15, and the size to something around maybe 6 or 5, maybe 6. Okay, it's fine. Awesome. So see how this looks. Okay, see like the little effect that it's doing for that. Okay, now I maybe want to decrease the amount a little bit more to 10, or maybe 12 would be good. Okay, awesome. That looks pretty good. And now what I want to do, because if I play the video, okay,
Basic content is dying, but let me actually...
this text is not moving. If we go to Pablo template, okay, and if I scroll this, look how the text looks like. So let me put this in full. Look at the text right now.
Personal brands feel a little bit empty.
Okay, sorry, that sometimes happens because this has a lot of effects, so After Effects can lag a little bit.
Brands feel a little bit empty nowadays.
You see how the text is moving a little bit with that little effect? That's done with the turbulent displays effect. So in order to do that, because we're not done yet, okay, I'm gonna go to evolution, to the stopwatch. I'm not gonna click it, I'm just gonna hold option and I'm gonna click that. It's gonna open this thing right here, okay, like an expression. As you can see on that expression, I'm just gonna type time and then this little star and then 8. All right, and then I'm gonna click away, and there you go. Now that this thing is gonna be like moving a little bit. So
basic content is dying, but let me actually tell you why that is good news.
Okay, I think we need to increase it because I'm not noticing that.
Basic content is dying, but let me actually tell you.
Okay, it's not moving for some reason, so I think, did we do it in the right? Let me just undo that really quick. So I think we need to do it here on the, oh, on random seed. I think it's on random seed. So let's do it again. Holding option, we click there. Oh, here it is. So time, and then the little star, and then the number 8. Okay.
Basic content is dying, but let me actually.
There you go. Okay, it's not on evolution, it's on random seed. Okay, now it's moving, or just giving that little effect as you can see here. So let's do it again.
Basic content is dying, but let me actually tell you why that is.
Now that's I increased the amount here, so I'm gonna just put it on 10. Okay, and put this on 8, and now
content is dying, but let me actually tell you why that is good.
Okay, so you can find a, I don't know, you can find a, like the numbers that you like the most. For me are those, so I'm gonna save it. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this turbulent displays, and I'm going to go to animation, save animation preset, and just call it basic turbulent, and maybe effect, because I already have the other name, so just do not get confused. Basic turbulent effect, save it, and now I can go ahead and just minimize this, and I can apply that, this like the same effect to the text is dying, and not only to the text but also, okay, I don't know why this is so difficult to scroll. So basic turbulent effect, so I can drop it into the highlight, and I can also drag, I know my face is like not showing you guys, but basic turbulent effect into the text is dying, and now we have it for all of them. Now here is where After Effects is gonna start lagging, because if we have the full resolution, and if we start to add these effects, these are the heavy effects. So for now, we know how it looks. It looks pretty good, okay, with the keyframes and everything, but we are going to deactivate those from all the elements. So if I go to basic content, deactivate it from there, highlight, deactivate that one, is, okay, we already did for this one, because that way our After Effects is not gonna lag, okay? At the end, before we render everything, we go back and activate everything again. All right, it takes some time, yes, but it's just the best way to not get the After Effects lagging, okay? And another tip, if your After Effects is lagging, remember we can decrease the quality of that so it doesn't lag. All right, so the hook has been edited. Let's take a look at that again. So I go here and click play.
Basic content is dying, but let me actually tell you why that is good news.
All right, so another thing that I forgot to mention, guys, is when I was doing the brainstorming, what you want to do here on the hook is you want to like don't make the hook, if you're gonna use a text hook, don't make it too long or too confusing. Just like choose the right words so people can understand what the video is going to be about. Okay, so when I'm brainstorming, I'm thinking about everything. That's why I thought about this hook, basic content is dying, because it's simple to read, it's short, and it tells me like a problem that's going on with content nowadays. This is like a problem that my audience can be identified with. So it's gonna catch the attention, and hopefully it's gonna make people like watch the video, because I'm interested in making people actually watch the video, because I know that the message that I have is important for them. So if I care about my audience enough, I will take some time to brainstorm a good hook that I know is gonna be easy to understand for people. Okay, those are like my last thoughts on the hook. I know I took some time here. Remember, good things actually take time to learn. So I want to get into all the details here, and that's why this tutorial is taking a lot of time. But I hope you're enjoying it, and now I can see you in the next segment. Okay guys, so welcome to this segment, and in this one we already edited the hook, so we're going to be editing segment 2. Okay, now we took some time with the hook because we were creating some presets and I was explaining how to create presets, how to create effects and stuff like that. But now hopefully this one is going to be a little bit faster because we already know how to do some stuff. Okay, perfect. So the first thing that we're going to do is, remember how we went and hit all the layers, okay, from all the other segments? Well, now we're gonna activate them again, but something that I forgot to do was to actually trim this shadow to where it is. Okay, so I'm gonna trim it right there. Okay, and now I'm going to activate all the layers, and you see how shadow is above all the other layers, so we need to take it down. And this happens whenever we create a new element after we hit all the other elements. Okay, so yeah, that is going to happen for some reason. So just, you know, completely we just need to drag and drop it to the bottom. And I'm gonna take basic content and the shadow, and since we already edited those, let me fit this, I'm going to hide those ones. Okay, and now I'm gonna go to from red, okay, which is the starting layer of the second segment, Justin Welch, all the way to curved line, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, all the way to curved line, and I'm going to activate those and then select this again so it only leaves those layers right here. Okay, again, remember, this is not necessary to do. It's just that I find it helpful so I can focus only on the segment that I'm editing. All right, perfect. So now we're gonna take Justin Welch, okay, and what I'm gonna do, sorry if you hear the dogs barking in the background, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Justin Welch, I'm gonna scale it down a little bit by holding shift, okay, and let me hold it back again. Okay, perfect. So somewhere here, and I'm gonna center that one. Okay, maybe take it down a little bit again. All right, so I want Justin Welch to slide up. Okay, I want Justin Welch to slide up. So in order to do that, look what I can do. Okay, I can go ahead on the presets and I can apply the slide in up effect. Okay, the one we created in the tutorial or whatever. Okay, just this one. Drag and drop it to Justin Welch. But here is one thing, guys. I don't know why this happens. But instead of just sliding up normally, it just goes crazy and look.
Based on the LinkedIn,
just passes by just like that. And I don't know why this happens. It's so weird. I have yet to find why this is the reason it happens. If someone knows, please leave it on the comment and I will pin the comment so we all know how to fix this, okay? Because I just couldn't find a way. Now I'm going to undo the slide up, so I basically just removed it, okay, with Command Z. Remember, that's how we undo things. And I'm just gonna do it manually, to be honest, because look at this. If I drag and drop Justin Welch again to the timeline, okay, I'm gonna hide the one that we already had. Okay, so this is Justin Welch. I take a slide in up, all right? I put it on Justin Welch. Look what happens. It's just normal. It is the slide up effect that the preset that we previously created. I don't know why, if I applied to this guy here, to this Justin Welch, I really don't know why it is going crazy and doing that thing. Like, we're just gonna leave it like that, okay? To be honest, I'm just gonna delete this Justin Welch. I'm gonna add another one. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let me actually see where that one started. So that one starts here. Okay, so I'm gonna add a new one. Okay, I'm gonna trim it right there. Boom, trim it. And I'm going to delete the old one, and I'm going to apply the slide effect to the new one. and there you go. Okay, just that easy. Okay, just that easy. There you go. And now I'm gonna click U, okay, and then I'm gonna take, like, the starting point is gonna be it's good because remember guys, we are gonna have an overlay here between this segment and this segment. We're gonna have an overlay, so that's why I'm not doing any out animations. Okay, I'm only doing in animations. What are in animations? In animations are these ones: the slide up, the typewriter, the highlight. And if we want to do an out animation, we would either slide down or with opacity just make the elements disappear. Okay, so since we're using an overlay, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna put an overlay here after whenever we are applying overlays and stuff like that. Since we are having an overlay, there is no need to do an out animation to those elements. If we wouldn't use an overlay, we would need to do somehow of an out animation to those elements. Keep this in mind because I see this is a common mistake from a lot of people, from a lot of video editors, where they just don't apply any out animations and they don't use an overlay, so all the elements disappeared all of the sudden, and that is a harsh cut that doesn't look pretty good. Okay, but yeah, with that being said, that was just a quick note. We are using an overlay, so it's going to change from here, and Justin Welch is going to appear, and I'm going to make it here maybe. And since we're using the preset, I'm going to drag this one, and he's just going to be here. I'm going to actually take it down, so I scale it down maybe there, and then drag it down. So he's going to come from there, and actually, okay, so from here.
Based on the LinkedIn expert Justin Welch.
Okay, so maybe a little bit longer.
Based on the LinkedIn expert Justin Welch.
Okay, awesome. So we're gonna leave it like here. I'm going to save that. And now I still want to do some I don't know, like some changes to this guy Justin Welch. And by the way, now that I take a look at that, I want to go to the shadow. I want to activate it. I want to click here again, and I want to take the shadow and I want to take it all the way here, okay, because I want the shadow to stay for Justin Welch sliding up. Okay, and now another thing I could do is bring the shadow in front of or above Justin Welch, but that will look a little bit weird since Justin Welch is not going to be very visible, so I'm just going to take it down again. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, something that I want to do, guys, and show you is how to add some texture to an icon, an image, a b-roll, whatever you want to add any texture to. So in order to do that, let me explain what I mean. I want to add some dots, okay? I want to add some dots to Justin Welch. But in order to do that, I'm going to import the dots first. So on File, and these dots, I think I'm gonna leave it on the description, but I also think it's part of the premium assets, overlays, grids and dots. Okay, dot grid black, this is the name. So I'm gonna open that one, and I'm gonna drag and drop it above Justin Welch. And now look at that image. So if we scroll down, it's a really big image, okay? Because these are some textures. So by holding shift, I'm gonna make it smaller. Okay, I'm gonna make it smaller somewhere here. I'm gonna fit the screen again and take a look at how that looks. Looks pretty good, right? So now I just wanted to apply it to Justin Welch, not the entire video. So in order to do that, I'm going to go here, okay? And we will need to toggle the switches and the modes, all right? Where it says track mate, and on track mate, I want to track that to Justin Welch only. But look what's going to happen. The dots were applied to Justin Welch, but Justin Welch became transparent. Since that happens, because that is just what happens whenever you apply a texture to an image or whatever, the image becomes transparent and then the texture takes the shape of the image, okay? So in order to fix that, what we need to do, let me undo everything with Command Z, okay? And now I'm going to duplicate Justin Welch. I've duplicated. I take the dots and the dot grid black, and I track make it to the second Justin Welch, the duplicated one, and now we have Justin Welch with the dots, and it's not transparent. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to let me see, because here, okay, you want to go to the keyframe here, and then you want to take the second Justin Welch and you want to parent that one to the original Justin Welch, okay? And you want to parent the dots and grids to the duplicated Justin Welch. So now when he comes up, everything's going to come up.
Based on the LinkedIn expert Justin Welch.
Oh, okay, let me undo that because we don't want to parent the dots, okay? Just never mind, don't parent the dots, because then that weird thing is gonna happen.
Is good news. Based on the LinkedIn expert Justin Welch.
Okay, it's happening again, so I don't know for what reason that's happening. It's like we are doing this slide app, but for some reason on the second Justin Welch, it's not working that way. Let me see the dots. So it's here, and then everything should come here as we know it. So let me see how we can fix this, guys, because we don't want, we want everything. So let me just undo everything, okay? Undo. So Justin Welch, we remove. Okay, so we have the normal Justin Welch, right? Okay, perfect. So now we want to apply the dots and grids to Justin Welch. So I'm gonna just drag and drop it right there. I make it smaller. Okay, make it smaller. Smaller. There you go. I then fit this. Okay. And perfect, everything normal so far. Okay, I want to duplicate this, and then it's been duplicated with the same keyframe, so both of them are sliding up at the same time. Okay, at the same time, they are sliding up at the same time. Perfect. Now the dot and grids, we want to track mate that to the second Justin Welch, but once we do that, okay, now it's working. So see, guys,
based on the LinkedIn expert Justin Welch,
this stuff can get complicated sometimes, but it's totally fine. So let me click the letter P again, and let me see if I parent that one to the Justin Welch. Okay, then everything is gonna move together. I don't know why it didn't work.
Based on the LinkedIn expert Justin Welch.
Okay, perfect. It's working perfectly right now. All right, awesome. So we're gonna go now into the background. All right, that took some time, but guys, sometimes it is what it is, right? Sometimes I even get confused. So you gotta be patient with After Effects, okay? You gotta be patient. So Option, and then I'm gonna trim the dots and grids because they are gonna start from here, and then they are gonna end here. Okay, and the same for Justin Welch 1 and 2. So Option, and then we trim that. Okay, awesome. Now we're gonna work here, and what we want to do is the frame is gonna start here, and then it's gonna move here, and then to ChatGPT, and then it's gonna say it doesn't work. So look how cool we're gonna do that. We're gonna take the background, and we're gonna work on the background now. So, because we're just not gonna leave it red as it is, okay? It's not gonna just be red and that's it, okay? We gotta work on it a little bit, okay? Now, the way we do that is by creating an adjustment layer. We're going to create two adjustment layers. One is going to be called vignette, okay? And for vignette adjustment layer, we are going to apply the vignette effect. So CC vignette, and then we can control it here. Not too much, maybe too much, yeah, okay, let's do it too much, but then decrease this one. Okay, somewhere there. Perfect. And now the second thing we want to do, we're going to create another adjustment layer. Okay, and then see how we were creating these above the background, not above every element. We just wanted to be above the red background. And then for that one, I'm going to call it grain. Okay. You can also call it like background, so BG grain. Click away, and then for that one, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, let me see how I used to do this one. Okay, so look, we're gonna do the same. By selecting the adjustment layer, we're gonna click ellipse, and then we're gonna create an ellipse of that one, just like this one. Okay, we can maybe even move it around. So by clicking this, I'm just gonna move it around a little bit more. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to apply some noise alpha. Okay, noise alpha to the thing. Okay, and now I'm going to increase the amount of noise, but I want it to be in the border, not in the middle. So it's like it's the same thing with the shadow. I want to go to mask and I want to invert it. Okay, but I'm noticing that this is like there's a space here because I move it. So in order to undo that, I want to go to transform and just reset it. All right, perfect. And then I want to hide the transform properties because I want to go to mask, and then I want to feather the mask. Okay, perfect. And now I can expand the mask. Okay, now we're talking, right? Look how the background looks. It looks 10 times better, right? Looks 10 times better. So that's what we want to do, okay, with the background. So now what I want to do, let me see, maybe we can decrease that vinyl a little bit more, or the feather, we want to do it a little bit more mask expansion. And then is the vignette the one that I want to decrease a little bit more? No, there you go. Perfect. Okay, cool. So the background is looking pretty solid, and now we just create a bunch of things here. So the background, this thing, okay, so command, the grain. You always want to be trimming things as you create them. So you take this and you take this against option. All right, perfect. Now what we want to do is the movement. Now we want to create the movement of the segment or the scene, okay, the animation. So I want to take the playhead at the very beginning, and I'm going to scroll down because look at the size of the background. Okay, so what I'm going to do right there is I'm going to move it to the corner a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to go here. By the way, I hope this is not like very overwhelming, guys. We're just, we're just going through the edit here. I know it's taking some time as well, but I told you guys this tutorial is gonna take some time. All right, you wanted to learn, here it is. Now I want to create a keyframe on position. For now, I think only position. Okay, only on position, and I want to do the following. Okay, I want to, okay, so the animation is going to be there for a while, so I'm going to play it.
Posting generic content like quick tips.
Okay, posting generic content like quick tips. This, that's going to be like the frame of the first thing, okay, of the first box. So I'm gonna create another keyframe because the background is not gonna move, okay? It's just gonna be there, animating the quick tips and the generate content text, okay? But then it is going to move from here. So let me play it out.
How-tos, or even
Okay, then it's gonna move to how-tos. So I need to do like this movement here, okay? Boom. But let me show you one thing that I just didn't do. So I'm gonna go back here to the keyframe, and before creating the next keyframe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Justin Welsh and all the other things, okay? Well, the curved line, not yet, because we're gonna be editing that one alone, but all the way from quick tips to the the text box, all the way to Justin Welsh, because quick tips is parented to the text box, so it's not necessary. I'm going to and this one is connected to, so I'm not gonna do this one either. Justin Welsh. Okay, so here I'm gonna parent all of these elements to the red background, okay? And now what's gonna happen is if I move these, okay, so I say like quick how-tos or something like that.
how-tos, or
okay, I say how-tos, that's when I move the background. So I'm gonna move the background here. And look what happens. Everything moves with the background because everything is parented with the background. Okay? So that's how we do it. And then I say how-tos.
or even chat.
So let me see.
Posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos.
Okay, how-tos. And then I do another one. So how-tos is gonna be like there for a while, so I make another one here, and then another one.
Even ChatGPT generated content.
Okay, or even ChatGPT generated content. So I'm gonna take it down again, okay, and then I say it doesn't work anymore.
Doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so I'm gonna make this here a little bit back. You guys are gonna understand this in just a few seconds, okay? We just want to make the movement of the frame here, okay? The frame is gonna be like moving towards the right. That's what we're doing here with keyframes. So
doesn't work anymore.
Doesn't work anymore. Okay, so I want to make it slightly, just move it to the right slightly. Okay, perfect. Or it cannot be to the right, but rather to, like, I'm gonna make it just move it down, so it's gonna say like it doesn't work anymore. All right, perfect. So we got that, and now you guys are probably really confused at this point, but don't worry, because it's totally normal. Okay, I know this segment is like a little bit complicated, but you guys are gonna understand. So what we are doing is this:
posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generated content doesn't work anymore.
Okay, now that we create all the other text boxes, you guys are gonna see how this is gonna work. So let's go with the line. Okay, the line is gonna start from here. Okay,
how to
like this line is gonna move on this frame. Okay, she's gonna start from this text box and it's gonna move to like the next box. Okay, so quick tips, let me reorganize that because the text box is not gonna be on that position. I'm gonna hide the curved line for now. I'm gonna grab the text box here, and I'm gonna take generate content and put it here as well. Okay, now for generate content, let me see what color fits best. White. Okay, maybe white. And for generate content, maybe we can do like a stroke. So I'm gonna do like a black stroke maybe, and then we're gonna increase this. Oh, not too much. Okay, let me see. 4. Not 4. Maybe 4 is too much. So go back to generate content. Maybe we do it manually. Okay, 2. Perfect. So if I click there, Okay, generate content, perfect. I like how that looks. It's looking pretty solid. Everything's looking pretty solid. So for the quick tips, okay, what I want to do, so first, well, let's focus first on the generate content. So
posting generic content like quick tips.
Okay, quick tips.
Posting generic content like quick tips, how.
All right, so before we actually animate those things, okay, what we're gonna do is create the next boxes, okay? So the how-tos and the ChatGPT generated content. Because I was going to animate that box, but then it's gonna be, if I duplicate it, then it's gonna duplicate the keyframes as well, and I don't wanna do that. So you guys wanna be intentional about that as well, and think about that. So for now, I'm just gonna take the box and the text, so command, and I'm gonna duplicate them. Okay, I'm gonna take the box, the text box 2, and I'm gonna move it here. And now I'm gonna take the text box and I'm gonna move it somewhere here, because when the background moves,
posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even.
Okay, how-tos. So how-tos is gonna be here. So I want this text box, so go to text box 2. Okay, I wanna grab it and put it like somewhere here, all right, in the middle. Okay, there you go. So we can set it in the middle, and the line is gonna connect these two. Okay, but then I am gonna do another text box right there. So select this one, command, select this one, command D, then take the text box, put it above here, and then move this here, and the third text box is going to be this keyframe here. So I'm going to take the text box 3, okay, it's actually this one, and I'm going to move it. Okay, I'm going to move it here, and then I'm just going to center that one. And now what's going to happen is that it's going to stay there for a while, and then it's going to go down, and the text that says generic content, I'm going to duplicate that one, I'm going to bring it to the top. Alright, so I'm going to bring it to the top, and if I scroll here, it's this text here. I'm just going to drag it and put it here and center that one. Oof. Okay, so it's looking pretty solid. I know you guys might be overwhelmed, but I hope you're following along. It's not really complicated. We're just playing around with keyframes, with elements. We're just organizing the scene that we previously imagined. Okay, maybe I imagine a complicated scene, I'm not gonna lie, but anyways, I know you guys are doing good. Don't worry. If you need to take the video back and again, don't worry, go ahead and do that. So generate content, quick tips, and how to. So quick tips, how to. So we need to change the text on that. So here is gonna say so how to's. Okay, so how to's, maybe like that. All right, perfect, looks good. And then what is the other one? Like chat GPT, right? So I'm gonna put chat GPT here. So chat GPT. And the thing is that whenever we duplicated these text boxes and whenever we duplicated them, the initial text box was already parented to the background, okay, and the text as well. All right, so that's why they stay, okay, right there attached to the background. Okay, not to the screen, but attached to the background. And that's how we are given this like 3D scene, even though we are not really using a 3D camera, if that makes sense. Okay, so let me do it again.
Posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generated content doesn't work.
Okay, or even ChatGPT generated content. So
content like quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generated content. Or even.
Okay, this is the one that I need to take here.
Or even ChatGPT generated content doesn't work anymore.
Okay, and then this text, the final one, needs to say something around the lines of doesn't work, and then anymore. Okay, doesn't work anymore. Maybe a point. Perfect. Okay, so that doesn't work anymore. Center the anchor point, and I think we just need to start adding the animations for everything. Okay, so hear me out. Now we're gonna go to generate content. Okay, we're gonna go to generate content, and well, before I actually animate everything, I'm just gonna pause this recording and then start a new one, because I don't want to make this too long, and I also need to take a break. So I'm gonna pause this one, and then I'm gonna continue just in a few minutes here. Okay guys, so I was checking the previous recording, and I just noticed that the microphone was not working. But you know, I'm just gonna leave it like that, because thank God I had the microphone, I think, on my headphones or the MacBook. We were on the, we now can go ahead and animate everything, right? So I'm gonna start with the text that says generate content. Okay, so generate content, and as we can see, we can go ahead and add, if I scroll here, we created a preset. Okay, did I show this? I think I didn't show this to you guys. Let me see. So yeah, I didn't show this to you. So I'm gonna go back really quick to the text that says is dying. Okay, and I'm going to toggle switches and modes, and I'm gonna bring it here to the timeline, because or well, I don't even need to do that. So I'm going to come here to where it says range selector. Okay, and or actually not range selector, but I'm gonna go to animator 1, and we are gonna create a preset of that as well. I forgot to do this on the previous segment, so I'm going to just take that. Okay, and I'm gonna go to animation, and I'm gonna save the animation preset, and on tutorial I can even create a new folder. Okay, that says text presets. So these are especially for text. Okay, so I'm gonna create that, and I can create the one that says smooth typewriter. Perfect. We save it. Okay, we now can go ahead and hide everything again. Okay, and then go to where it says, where is the text? So generate content. Okay, awesome. Now we can go to generate content, and here at the very beginning, or not at the very beginning, let me see when that starts.
Posting generate content.
Okay, yeah, so at the very beginning we can go, and I can search for smooth typewriter, and here it is, user presets, text presets. Okay, I already have it, so but I created it again here on tutorial so you guys could see. So I'm gonna drag and drop that one to where it says generate content. Remember that if you bought the premium assets, you already have the smooth typewriter effect. So I drag and drop it here, I click U, okay, and I bring the keyframes because I want to adjust that. Okay,
Posting generate content
okay, maybe I want to do it a little bit longer.
Posting generate content quick.
Okay, maybe a little bit more.
Posting generate content quick.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna leave it like that. We're gonna save, and we already animated the first element. Now I want to show the quick tips. I want to edit that box and animate it. The way I'm gonna do it is by okay, how can we do this? Maybe we can take it and make it appear from behind. How can we do this? Maybe behind with a fade in, so we can do a fade in here. Yeah, let's do a fade in so I show you guys something. We're gonna take the text box and we're gonna hold command and quick tips, and we're gonna put those below Justin Welch. All right, so once we do that, we want to take them and let me see.
Generate content
okay, quick tips. Somewhere here is going to appear the quick tips text box. So I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna click, I'm gonna just go to transform options. So I'm gonna hide the generate content one, and I'm gonna hide the this one here and transform of the text box. Okay, and I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna create a keyframe on position and on opacity. So those are gonna be the keyframes, okay, and I'm gonna move them because that's gonna be the final position of the text box. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring back the position. Okay, so position y, okay, so it's here. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna bring the position down, okay, here, somewhere here. All right, yeah, somewhere here, and then the opacity down to 0. Okay, but look what happens here. Quick tips is parented to the text box, but and it will follow, quick tips will follow the position and everything. Okay, as we can see here, it's gonna follow the position, right? But what quick tips doesn't do is it does not follow the opacity. Okay, it does not follow the opacity. So we need to click the T key, which to bring opacity here, and we need to create a keyframe, bring it back down to 0, and then another go here and create another keyframe for that one and bring it back to 100. All right, just like the same length as the property here. Okay, now we're gonna take actually opacity, both opacity and this one here. Oh no, Command Z. So I'm gonna click this one, and holding shift I'm gonna click this one as well, and I'm gonna bring those back a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna bring this back a little bit. The reason why is because every time we are animating like an element with opacity and position, almost all the time you want to bring the opacity keyframe a little bit earlier to or before the one of position. Okay, so it's just a good practice on video editing. So quick tips, all right, it comes down right there. So now what we can do is we're gonna ease all the keyframes with F9. All right, perfect. So we ease everything. By the way, this is my first time like doing a tutorial on After Effects, so whenever I'm editing, like I'm doing everything fast and I know what I'm editing. But guys, when you do your first tutorial, like editing and explaining, it's a whole skill, right? So that's why you sometimes see me like, you know, being a little bit confused on what to do, because you got to be very careful when you are recording a tutorial on how you're doing things so you don't mess everything up. Okay, so that is just a note for whenever you are editing for a tutorial or creating your own tutorial, which I highly suggest doing as a video editor. Okay, perfect. So then like quick tips, how to, okay, quick tips. So I'm gonna bring all these keyframes a little bit here, and what I'm gonna do, I need to do it like one by one, but I'm gonna only do it for position, where I'm gonna take those, I'm gonna open the graph editor and then do this here, and then let me see how that looks. Content like quick tips, how to, okay, for me, I don't know why it seems like a little bit fast. Okay, so I'm gonna take all of these three, move it here, all of these three, and move it here. Generate content like quick tips, how to, okay, perfect. So let me see. In Welsh, posting generic content like quick tips, how to, okay, perfect. It's looking pretty solid. So quick tips, okay, generate content like quick tips, and it's appearing like behind Justin Welsh, which is pretty good. And then we do a how to's, okay, and then ChatGPT. I think those text boxes can be right there. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna work on the actual, so if I go to this keyframe, I'm gonna work on the actual, I'm gonna hide everything here, quick tips, and this one as well, the background, because I want to bring the curved line. Where is the curved line? Where is the curved line? Here it is. Okay, we got it. Now we're gonna move, okay, red background. I'm gonna activate all the keyframes with U, which is on position keyframes, and that is gonna move here. Okay, so this is where I want the line to be. So the line is not parented to the background just yet, okay? Because we only want to parent things once we know what's going to be the position of those things. So I'm going to make it smaller a little bit, and then the line is going to connect those two, okay? Just like that. So find the right position. Once you are in the right position, then here is where we go ahead and parent the thing to the actual background. So now, look, it's going to stay there. Okay, it's gonna stay there. Then I don't want the line to be like from the beginning, right? I don't want the line to be there. So look what I'm gonna do. I'm going to locate the first keyframe of the actual background. I'm gonna go to the curved line, and I'm going to open its properties. I'm going to add a I'm gonna add a trim path, and just like we did previously with the highlight on the hook, the same works for this one. So I'm gonna go to trim path, and I'm gonna create a keyframe right there, right on the keyframe here. I'm gonna create a keyframe or on end. I'm gonna bring it back to 0. I'm going to increase this here, or just move it to the next keyframe, or maybe somewhere here. Okay, it could be somewhere here. And then I'm gonna bring this back to 100, and then I can ease those with F9. And now look at this.
Posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even...
Okay, perfect. So now we have the line, an animated line. Okay, awesome. Now, something that I'm a little bit uncomfortable with is these keyframes. I need to ease those keyframes. So I'm gonna F9 all of them. Okay, so F9, and now we're gonna start to play around with those. Okay, so it's gonna be a bit smoother. Okay, these transitions here from ChatGPT, and then doesn't work anymore. Okay, so before we actually go ahead and edit the next text boxes and we add more lines, I want to work on how the background is going to look like, the movement. Okay, so let's actually take a look at that.
Posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generated content.
Okay, so from here, okay, I noticed that I'm just gonna bring this keyframe here. I noted that this can be faster.
Posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or...
Okay, so right there, okay, how-tos, that's the one that I want to work on. So I'm gonna select these two, go to graph editor, and then move this one a little bit here, and then move this one a little bit here. Okay, now the problem is gonna be here, okay, as I can see, because I also want to smoothen the flow of these two. Okay, but what I'm noticing, since we're not using a 3D camera, with a 3D camera this would be I think a lot better, but we're not gonna go into 3D cameras just yet. There's gonna be like a weird little pause right here, but that's totally fine. Okay, that's totally fine. Now I want to do the same for this ones where I do this here and I do this here. We are just easing these a little bit more, and now let's take a look at how that looks.
Posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generated content.
Okay, so this one needs to be faster, right?
Quick tips, how-tos, or...
I like the transition from quick tips to how-tos. However, it's a little bit harsh at the end, and I want it to be less harsh. So I'm gonna take those two, and I'm gonna increase this and increase this one here. Okay, now let's see how that looks.
Posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos.
Okay, it's a little bit fast right there, so I'm gonna take this one here. Okay, let's see how that looks.
Posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even...
Okay, sometimes it's gonna get laggy After Effects, so just bear with me. I cannot do that very fast, because then it's gonna look a little bit weird.
Quick tips, how-tos, or even... Posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even...
You see, it's a little bit fast, this transition right here. So I'm gonna move it somewhere here. Okay, let's see how that looks.
Like quick tips, how-tos, or even...
Okay, perfect. So I think I like that one. Now it's gonna get laggy a little bit. I'm gonna decrease the yeah, I'm gonna decrease here the quality of the composition a little bit.
Posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT.
Okay, so how-tos,
tips, how-tos,
or even, and then I can move this one a little bit more here.
Quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generic.
All right, perfect. So I can take these two, and sorry if you hear the dogs barking. It's just my neighbors' dogs. They bark as normal dogs. Yeah, it is what it is. So if you don't hear that, that's amazing. Oh, what did I do here? I did something here. What did I do here? Let me go back. I don't know. Okay. So let me take those. What is this? Oh, there we go. I don't know what did I do that there. So anyways, I'm gonna take these two and I'm going to do the same. So I'm gonna take it here and maybe take this one here, and let me play that.
Or even ChatGPT generated
okay.
quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generated.
I want that one to be a little bit faster. Okay, so I'm gonna take it here and it's gonna be just a little bit faster. So somewhere here. Okay, bro, the dogs are barking heavy right now.
Or even ChatGPT generated content.
Okay, so make this one here.
Or even ChatGPT generated tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT.
Sometimes these keyframe things can get a little bit tricky, where you're gonna spend some time trying to find the right flow, okay? Because you want to find the right flow. So just like I'm going back and forth here, it's because I want to find the right flow, okay?
Posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even
that was a little bit faster.
Generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even
that was a little bit faster. Like I still don't, I'm still not happy with it at all. So I'm just gonna go. It's because you know what I think it is. It's the actual. It's like the messaging, right? So when I was brainstorming, I thought this was going to be a smooth movement, but as I'm noticing that it's not really a smooth movement. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is instead of doing the third movement, okay, so I'm gonna just leave the plate head here, okay, and I'm going to delete these. Okay, just delete it, don't worry. And now I'm gonna grab the second box, which is not the second but the third one, and I'm gonna bring it here. Okay, and I'm going to center that one. Okay, and then I can do the text that says doesn't work anymore. We can work on this one later on, but for now we're just gonna leave it in a way that we go from
posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even chat.
You see, we can make now this like a little bit bigger here,
like quick tips, how-tos, or
and then I can even move it here.
Content like quick tips, how-tos, or even
so you can move stuff as we go. Okay, you can change your mind, and instead of doing like this animation, you can change it a little bit where it's just a bit smoother. Okay, perfect. So
content like quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT.
All right, maybe a little bit faster.
Like quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generated content.
Okay, and now what we can do is we can do basically the same fade in that we did for the quick tips. You remember the fade in? Okay, we can do the same for the ChatGPT.
or even chat.
Okay, so ChatGPT can start from here. So let's go to ChatGPT, which is text 3. And I'm going to open the okay, so transform. I need to open everything. Transform, position, and opacity. Okay, and then I can move that one. So those two, I can just move them somewhere here. All right, and then I can bring the position down, and then the opacity down. And then for ChatGPT, I'm gonna click T, and I'm gonna create a opacity, move it somewhere here, and then decrease it to 0. I'm gonna ease those with F9, and I'm gonna ease these two with F9 as well. All right. Okay, perfect. So now we have this, the ChatGPT thing. All right. Remember how I said like to put the opacity at the same time here, just before the position here. And for only for these ones, I'm just gonna go and do this here. So it looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, like that. There you go. Perfect. So,
or even ChatGPT generated content.
okay, now it's a little bit fast, so I can just make them. Okay, select everything, move them a little bit more.
Or even ChatGPT generated,
and then I can make these here.
Or even ChatGPT generated content doesn't work.
Okay. Now, what I can do? Let me see.
Posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generated content.
All right. So here, where I say ChatGPT generated content, I can go back. I can create a keyframe for the red background. So let me just click here, keyframe. Okay. Command, and I wanted to just make a normal keyframe because we're gonna ease in a little bit later. I want to move. So here's the thing, guys, with animations, we don't want them to feel static, too much static. Okay, they can do that, but we always want something like moving or some motion within the video, so it doesn't look like a picture, if that makes sense. Okay, so you want to keep that in mind. And we show quick tips. So you see how I'm showing generic content, then quick tips, and as soon as quick tips is sending, I'm already creating some motion with the line, with the background movement. I show the how-tos, and then right here I'm gonna show ChatGPT. ChatGPT is gonna come up, but the how-to and the line, they are like very static. Everything feels a little bit static. So I'm gonna just make a small movement to the background like this. Okay. And I'm going to ease those with F9. So now,
or even ChatGPT generated content
looks better, right?
Like quick tips, how-tos, or even
then the how-tos is a little bit slow, so I'm gonna make it faster.
Content like quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generated content.
How-tos, ChatGPT generated content. Okay, now I'm noticing a problem where there is a weird pause right here between this and this. Now take a look on how we can solve that problem. And here is where I want to present you guys null objects, okay? So I know this has been a little bit messy, but guys, bear with me, okay? I think we're doing a good job so far, by the way. Like me sitting here and literally showing everything it takes to edit a video and the little mistakes that you bumped into. I could like cut this part and start recording another like video explaining like how to do it and make it faster and everything, but I just want to talk here. I just want to show stuff. And as I'm editing, I'm noticing the mistake, so I'm gonna create a null project for that mistake, and so you can use the same solution for your edits. So I'm gonna create a new null object. Oh, null object, what that is, bro? I don't know. Don't worry, it's very simple. The null object is gonna help me, like it's just a null object. It's nothing, okay? It's empty. But it's gonna help me with the background here. So I'm gonna delete these keyframes I previously created. Delete. And look what I'm gonna do. I'm going to parent the background. So instead of dragging this, because we have a lot of elements, you can just go here. I'm going to parent the background to the null object. Awesome. And then right here, okay, right where this thing is gonna end, so somewhere here, okay, let me see.
Then like quick tips, how-tos, or even
that is a little bit slow, so
like quick tips, how-tos, or even,
and the line is a little bit slow as well. So let me click U, bring this here,
like quick tips, how-tos, or even,
okay, perfect. So quick tips, how-tos, okay, quick tips and how-tos. What I'm gonna do is, before like this thing ends, I'm gonna create on the null object, on position, I'm gonna click the letter P. I'm gonna create a keyframe, and I'm gonna take this here, okay, and I'm gonna create another keyframe, but on the null object, I'm gonna take it down, okay, like the movement I wanted to do on the background, right? And I'm gonna ease those in with F9, and I'm also gonna go to the graph editor and even ease it in a little bit more, okay, a little bit more. So that's when we can like do this movement here, and then it's gonna be a lot smoother to do the next movement, because I'm playing around with these keyframes here, okay? But look at this keyframe. This keyframe is ending here, and I can even make it a little bit longer, not select both of them, but just one. I can make this faster if I wanted to. Let's see how that looks. But this ends here, right? It ends right there. But the null object is starting before that one. That's why I'm using and creating, because I couldn't create a keyframe starting before this one on the same background, because it wouldn't work. Okay, it would detect that keyframe before this one. It would be kind of like a mess. But with the null object, it doesn't matter, because the null object is another element. Now the null, since the background is parented to the null object, is going to follow the null's object movement. And this is how you can create a smooth transitions with null objects, or smooth movements without using 3D cameras, but actually creating the movement that you want. So let's take a look at that.
posting generic content like,
Let's actually make this big.
posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generated content.
You see, it's a lot better. We could have even done it with the other movement to the right, as we were saying. But anyways, okay, I you know, it is what it is. Okay, so we can even make that, like I can even move that, and maybe not too much, but I can bring it down more, even more. Okay, so let's see.
How-tos, or even ChatGPT generated.
Oh, now we're like talking, right? Now we are completely talking right here.
Tips, how-tos, or
that movement is still like fast.
posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generated content.
I like it. I definitely like it, bro.
How-tos, or even ChatGPT generated content.
And then we can do a new one for the background. Not on the null object, but on the background we can create a new one that says doesn't work anymore. So
generated content.
So somewhere here actually, I can create another keyframe. I'm gonna hold command and just do a normal one, because we need to reset it. And then I'm gonna drag the background. Okay, I'm gonna drag it like somewhere where do we want to do that? So okay, somewhere here. So we still want these things to be here. Don't worry, it's totally fine. And then we want to ease in those. So I'm gonna ease in with F9. Go to the graph editor, edit that one. Maybe something like that. Okay.
How-tos or even ChatGPT generated content doesn't work anymore.
Okay, awesome. So it doesn't work anymore. All right. Let me this one here.
GPT generated content doesn't work anymore.
Okay, maybe less. Maybe here. All right, so we got it, guys. Command S, and look how much time it took us to find the right like the right flow for this little scene, right? How to ChatGPT, and then doesn't work anymore. Now what I'm going to do is add more lines, and then for these text box that says how-tos, look what I'm going to do.
Tips, how.
So like from the starting of the curved line, okay, so from here maybe a little bit more, like right when it's going to appear, I'm gonna do the smooth typewriter to the how-tos. Okay, so I'm gonna drag and drop into the how-tos, and look at that.
Tips, how-tos, or even
oh, nice.
Even ChatGPT generated content.
And then I'm gonna do the same, but I need to connect those two. So here, how-tos,
or even.
so from here I need to create another line. So I'm gonna grab don't select anything here. So I'm gonna lock these dots. I'm not going to select anything, and I'm gonna grab the pen tool and create a thing from here to here. It's gonna be a big line, but anyways, don't worry, we're just gonna make it smaller, and then we're gonna do it like the dashed. So I'm gonna call it just vertical line for now, vertical line, and then I'm gonna add like I could have just copy and paste this one, but this one is curved line and this one is gonna be like straight. So why do I have two shapes? Stroke, and then we're gonna add a dash. Gonna round cap. And decrease the stroke a little bit. Make the distance a little bit bigger. Select here, select here. Okay, I like those dashes are good. Perfect. And now I want to animate that. So we go to trim path. We go to add trim paths. And then on trim paths, we want to do a keyframe on end 0. And then right here, it's going to be at 100. But whenever it starts here, okay, it's going to be parented to the red background. Red background. Okay, I hope that was not really confusing, but you guys get the point. Perfect. So
how-tos or even ChatGPT generated.
Okay, now that vertical line is going to be below the text boxes. So at least the second one and the third one. So here, okay. And then we're gonna hide that, and we're gonna hide everything else. And then we just do this.
Tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generated content.
All right, awesome.
Quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generated content doesn't work anymore.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Now for the null object, I want to maybe do this here, and then for the background do this here, so it's a better movement. So let's see how those
how-tos or even ChatGPT generated content doesn't work anymore.
Okay, maybe not so early. All right, and then we just need it says like
generated content.
Like here, we want to go with a smooth typewriter to the doesn't work anymore. So smooth typewriter, drag and drop it here, and then click U because I want this one to be not so fast.
Content doesn't work anymore.
You see, it's pretty fast for the thing, so just gonna do it here and do it here.
The content doesn't work anymore. What's
okay? Awesome. So we have the scene, okay, or the segment ready. Okay, so I know that took some time, guys. I know that it takes some time, but it is what it is. Okay, I like the progress. I feel like we're making some good and huge progress so far. Again, guys, at the like if you're a beginner, this is gonna feel overwhelming, but as you see how to do things, you can implement that to your own edits. You can have your own creativity, and here we're just piecing some things together, and I'm trying to do it in a way where I'm teaching you guys like all the stuff that I know about After Effects. So I'm going to just show you how everything is looking like.
Basic content is dying, but let me actually tell you why that is good news. Based on the LinkedIn expert Justin Welch, posting generic content like quick tips, how-tos, or even ChatGPT generated content doesn't work anymore. What's
Okay, awesome. I like it, to be honest. I like it a lot. Now, we're gonna, on the next segment, we're just gonna be editing this little text, and then we're gonna be editing this animation as well with 3D cameras, which is gonna be really, really cool. So I will see you on the next one. Okay guys, so welcome to this segment, and in this one we are gonna be editing, as you can see on the little drawing here, we already edited this one in the hook. Took some time, I'm not gonna lie, but I think we're learning some good stuff here. Now we're gonna edit this segment here. It's just simple with some simple words, and this one is gonna be important because we're gonna be learning 3D cameras. Okay, I want to show you like how to use 3D cameras and how we can make like cool animations using those as well. So something that I noticed, guys, is that I just need to make this null object. Okay, I just need to trim it, and I need to trim the vertical line as well. The same here. Forgot to do that on the previous segment. And something that I forgot to do on the previous segment is to apply some effects to these generate content, to the box, to Justin Welch. Okay, so we're gonna do that really quick. Okay, the way we do it is the same. Okay, so I'm gonna try to search for drop shadow, but we had like a basic, okay, I have a basic drop shadow here, but we also have the glow shadow that we created. So the basic glow shadow, I'm going to apply it to the generate content. Okay, so that's right there. Okay, now we can do it wide, we can do it we could do it even here as well. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna just leave it like that, and I could also do like the turbulent so we have the basic turbulent displays, basic turbulent effect. I'm gonna drag and drop it to the generated content. Okay, I could increase it a little bit here if I wanted to, just to make more of an effect for that text right there, but I'm going to leave it as it is, so somewhere like this. Okay, you can play around with that, and I'm gonna also drag and drop that to the text boxes. Okay, so the first text box, I'm gonna do some turbulence displays. Okay, let me fit this again for Justin Welch as well. So Justin Welch, some basic, and for Justin Welch 2, and for the dot grids maybe as well. Okay, so let me see how that looks.
Posting generic content,
okay,
like quick tips, how.
Let me do it again, but from here, just to see how Justin Welch looks.
Welch. Based on the LinkedIn expert Justin Welch, posting generic content like quick tips.
Okay, it looks pretty cool. I don't know if you were able to notice, but it looks pretty cool on Justin Welch. I'm just going to increase the amount a little bit to like 14. Okay, and the same here, so 14, and the same here, 14. Okay, it's this one is locked, so I'm gonna unlock it. And oh, okay, I couldn't. That's fine. All right, so 14. Okay, let me see.
Based on the LinkedIn expert Justin Welch, posting generic content like quick tips.
Okay, I like it pretty much. So now I'm just gonna also do, like, I applied the turbulent displays. I use it a lot for like for almost a lot of elements. I wouldn't suggest overusing it. Okay, don't overuse it, but it's a really cool effect that you can use on your animations just to, you know, just to give it more life. In fact, I want to show you guys, now that we're talking here about, let me put this one to the text box 2 and the text box 3. Now that we're talking here about on the vertical line about effects, I want to show you a list that I created. Okay, so I created this list on Notion, and basically these are Adobe Premiere and After Effects best effects. So vignette effect, Gaussian blur, grid, crop, flip, unsharp mask, basic 3D, lens distortion. All of these like are the ones that, you know, I like the most. There are more than this, for sure. There are more than this. And in this list, I also like did or created like some useful tips and shortcuts. Okay, so on Premiere Pro, I didn't put many. On After Effects, we have some shortcuts here. I forgot to mention this at the very beginning, but anyways, we also have some tips. So for Premiere Pro, we have some tips right there, and for After Effects, we also have some tips. I'm gonna leave this on the description, okay, because there are ways to animate text, there are ways to animate numbers that I'm not sure if I'm gonna mention here on the tutorial, so I'm gonna just leave that list so you guys can have it. In case you're wondering like what are the best effects that I can use and all that stuff, this is the list for that. All right, perfect. So as we are going here, there's another one for this one. Okay, so basic turbulent displays for that doesn't work anymore, and also the glow. So basically I can go to generic content, copy and paste that to this one, paste, drop shadow. Okay, awesome. So this will, you guys are gonna see whenever we render this, it's gonna look pretty solid. Okay, it's gonna look pretty solid. So everything is on point right now. We're just gonna leave it like that, and we can continue here. Okay, we can continue. Let me just save this again. I forgot to do that on the previous segment, but anyways, we now can go ahead and continue. Now take a look at this. I've done a zoom out here, and then we haven't done any zoom ins or zoom outs to the original video, to the footage. So what we can do is we can do a zoom in, small zoom in, whenever I say the word essence, okay, for this segment. But before we actually go ahead and start working on that segment, let me go from the shadow to the, okay, let me deactivate this. Let me go from the shadow to the null objects, so holding shift. Let me hide all of those, so toggle switches and modes. Go here and hide pretty much everything. Okay, and then I'm going to select essence all the way to the gem, so holding shift, and I'm gonna bring those up. Okay, just before I hide everything, I'm noticing that I want to do like the same vignette and noise effect to this background. Okay, so we are going to recycle this vignette and this grain. So I'm gonna select grain first and then command and then find it. I'm going to duplicate them, okay, and I'm going to move them right, okay, this can get tricky, right on this one here. And I'm gonna go back and align those with the segment that we are gonna be working on, and then align those here. Okay, awesome. So we now have, as you can see, the little grainy effect and the vignette. All right, perfect. So with that, since I duplicated them, I just need to unshade them. All right, and then I can, if I'm not mistaken, we can shade everything right now. So we only have this text that we're gonna be animating, and then we have the other background and the other elements for the next segment. Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and work on that little text.